There is a lot of animated films that come out. Some are films that succeed and go on to have a successful franchise for better or for worse. But then there are those movies that are good, but sadly don't get an extension of any kind, because they didn't do well at the box office. But today, I want to talk about the top 5 animated movies that need a sequel. So before I start, I have some honorable mentions. The Ant Bully. This movie is underrated and deserves a lot more attention. But sadly, the studio that made this movie, Deanna Productions, shut down after its failure, and despite the fact that Jimmy Neutron is getting a sequel, I don't see a reality where this movie gets a sequel. Astro Boy, again, great movie and an underrated gem, but the studio Imagi Studios shut down after it failed, so sadly, I don't think it'll ever get a sequel, even though they left an opening for one. And finally, Luca. This is an underrated movie from Pixar, and it truly deserves more recognition. It's not one of their best, and it is very simplistic in its story and characters, but it is still very enjoyable and truly deserving of a continuation, just not enough to make this list. Number 5. Elemental. This movie is Pixar's best film since Toy Story 4. The main characters Ember and Wade have perfect chemistry. They make each other better and are Pixar's best couple next to Carl and Ellie and Wally and Eve. This movie left an opening for a sequel, and despite doing poorly at the box office, it did pick up after a while and made a small profit. I really do hope we get a sequel to this. It truly deserves one. Number 4. Migration. This movie is a lot of fun and has a lot of heart. Illumination didn't make a lot of money from this film as it kinda just came and went and was buried under a plethora of big releases that year. But this movie is a great effort from Illumination and doesn't feel like another attempt to make easy money. It was funny, it was engaging and I enjoyed it. It left an opening for a sequel and I think it deserves one. Hopefully Illumination doesn't leave this film to be forgotten. Number 3. Shark Tale. This movie is a polarizing topic. You have people that hate this movie and claim it is the studio's worst, and then you have those that love the movie. I'm obviously the latter. This is a DreamWorks film that I've wanted a sequel to for years. I wanted to see Oscar and Angie get married and face new conflicts, and I wanted to see the story continue, but instead, DreamWorks chose to expand Madagascar, which did pay off as the sequels were huge improvements over the first, with the third being one of DreamWorks' best. But I still wish DreamWorks gave Shark Tale a sequel and I still hold out hope. Will Smith after the slap is gonna need some projects that will win people back. A sequel to Shark Tale could be one of those projects that brings him back to the spotlight. I would certainly love to see it, and with DreamWorks bringing back their old franchises, hopefully this will be one of them. Fins crossed. Number 2. Over the Hedge. This is another film that got snubbed in favor of Madagascar and deserves a sequel big time, and I know Bruce Willis is retired and Gary Shandling passed away. I give my condolences, but I think if they just recast, maybe Jeremy Renner could replace Willis and somebody do the same for Shandling. I think you could make a good follow-up to a truly underrated DreamWorks masterpiece, like Shark Tale. Hopefully this happens, and the number 1 animated film that needs a sequel is A Bug's Life. Despite all the fans clamoring for this sequel and all the possibilities you have with this world and characters, you decide to make more Toy Story movies, in which they're still good and I'm sure 5 will be too, but this movie needs a comeback too. The original has faded away from the zeitgeist of Pixar and is not talked about in the veins of Toy Story, Inside Out, The Incredibles, Up, Finding Nemo. Even Cars has more relevance, which they still continue to make content for. But A Bug's Life? Nothing, besides that National Geographic show that was released on Disney+. A Bug's Life has gotten nothing, and my gosh, this IP needs to come back. It needs a true proper sequel. I know most of the original actors passed away, which people use as an excuse as to why they haven't made a sequel, not like recasting is a thing, and if that was the case, why didn't Pixar stop making Toy Story movies after Jim Varney, Don Rickles and Estelle Harris passed away? They can recast if they want to. Dave Foley is still alive and not doing anything except stand up. Get him in a booth to record lines. What are you waiting for? This movie is the sequel that needs to happen the most, and is a sequel that we actually want. We don't want Toy Story 1000. We want sequels that would actually expand worlds that haven't been explored to their fullest. Inside Out 2 was good because it developed characters that weren't fully developed. There is so much you can do with these characters and world. Even with the title A Bug's Life, there leaves so much room for expansion. You can have 4 or 5 Bug's Life movies, and you don't have to just focus on one character. You can do what the other Pixar sequels didn't, shift focus to another character. There is limitless potential with this property, and you are leaving it to sit there with nothing to do, and before you say it's been too long. Top Gun 2 came out literal decades after the original. Tron 2 as well. Those movies were ancient, yet they still got sequels, so this movie can absolutely still get a sequel, and it truly deserves one. Pixar, please, make a sequel to A Bug's Life. We will all go see it and support it. And there's even an idea for it online. I posted about my synopsis pitch for a sequel. Feel free to check it out. And that is why A Bug's Life is the #1 animated film that needs a sequel. Anyways guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.